Good morning, kids, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I'm your host, Fearless Floyd. You can always reach me at the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. Please leave a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when new videos are going to be shown or broadcast. Share the video, as always. Again, I'm overwhelmed by my fan base and my subscribers, how well you guys support me and give me accolades. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. You don't even know. So today's topic, of course, I'm sure y'all all been waiting with bated breath for this. And obviously, it's about official oaths and official bonds. So I'm going to walk you guys through this entire process. I just got off the phone with one of my viewers and walked him through the process. And, this guy, he's been in it for a minute and knows some other YouTubers who I've mentioned before. Actually, has spoken to them on the phone. And I broke it down to him where he could easily understand it. I hope I can do this presentation fundamentally sound, as simplistic as possible, so you get it. And I'm going to do my best. So be patient with me. This may take an hour to fully explain for you to get, but once you get it, you're going to have it. And it's always going to remain with you. You're never going to forget it because it's so simple with the analogies that I present and that I've presented to other people to break it down. So, this is something you've been doing your entire life. Well, not your entire life. Since you've been driving or been age of majority, you know this analogy, you know this process. I'm just going to show you how it works in a different way for a different objective. So, what we are talking about today is the official bonds and official oaths of elected, appointed, or employed personnel, generally dealing in municipal, city, township, county, state, federal levels that all are required to have an official oath and an official bond. Uh, and it's pursuant to their laws. So let's just dive in, and I'm going to take you right to the source so you guys can see what's up. A gazillion things open as usual. So that's not what I'm looking for. Let me go get my page set. All right. Now this is, of course, 2 years old. But what you're looking at is a 38-page document from the Texas Association of Counties. This is the oath and bond requirements for county officials. Okay, so this is just dealing with officials on the county level, not beneath that, which would be the city or a township, and not above this, which would be on the state level or federal level. So this is just on the county level. So that's what we're dealing with because I have a um, elected official from Harris County, Texas. I have their bond, their official oath, so I'm going to show it to you. And that's why I chose this, so you can easily get it and there's no discrepancy between the information that I'm presenting to you, so you don't get lost or, you're looking for a county bond, you're over here looking at a state stuff or city stuff because they're different. You see, it's prepared by the legal department. So all this is prepared by attorneys. Okay? And of course, they got it copyrighted. So this is their material. I do not take credit for any of it. Gives you a hysterical background. Official oath and statement required. Persons who may administer oath, who must take the oath and statement, generally elected officers, blah, blah, blah. And then it breaks down the county judge, county court at law judge, statutory county probate judge, county commissioner, ex officio, road commissioner, county road superintendent, and it goes, there's your county sheriff, your deputy sheriff, your justice of the peace, your constables, county attorney, election judges, alternate election judges, early voting clerks, district clerk, district judge, court reporters, district attorneys, criminal district attorneys, assistant district attorney or criminal district attorneys. Okay. Director of a jail district, general manager of a jail district, employees of a jail district, park commissioner, board of park commissioner, joint board of park commissioners. Okay. So, when they say from the dog, from the top down to the dog catcher, you're pretty close right here. This is the list. So you see somebody's title in here that excites you and it piques your interest that you'd like to go liquidate their insurance policy with a proof of claim or claims and get paid. Here's your list, folks. That's where you need to go. County.org right there. You get this list. And I will read this. So for all of you who really don't want to look at my mug and read the screen and want to work out and listen to this through a Bluetooth or through your speakers, I'm going to read. Introduction. This publication sets forth the oath and bond requirements for the majority of county and precinct officers and officials. Each reference contains the constitutional and statutory requirements that relate to the various offices. This outline is not intended as a comprehensive listing of all officers or their qualifications for office. The exclusion of requirements for a particular officer, therefore, does not mean that requirements do not exist. Any questions regarding the requirements for a particular officer should be addressed by your local county clerk, county or district attorney, the Secretary of State, or the Attorneys General. That should be Attorneys General, not Attorney General. Lawyers wrote this, right? Okay. So what that little statement said, that this is not an end-all be-all, go do your own research so you can find the facts, conclude the law, and find out for yourself if this is the end all be all, because it may not be. There may be some other stuff required for the elected, appointed, or employed personnel for that particular entity. Also included are the requirements for some county boards and agencies, as well as some local and regional political subdivisions. Once again, the outline is not intended to be comprehensive. There may be other boards, agencies, and political subdivisions which have not been included, i.e. the dog catcher. If you detect errors or think that the information stated in this publication is incorrect, please contact the legal department of the Texas Association of Counties. Hey, you made a mistake right there. You left the S off of attorneys general. Official oath and statement of officer. Hysterical background. The oath of office first appeared in the Constitution of 1845, which just happens to coincidentally be the year that they created the what? Judiciary courts of the state of Texas as for-profit corporations. Just saying. Right around the same time they created the Walls Unit, which is now the Huntsville Unit, the first prison in the state of Texas. Absolutely. The clause requiring a denial of bribery first appeared in the present Constitution. It has a little footnote, which would be Texas Constitution of 1845, Article 7, Section 1, and was the direct outcome of the official corruption, which had reached alarming proportions during the Reconstruction period. Really? Official corruption? No. No. There's no such thing as official corruption in the state of Texas. Is there? Well, there was then. And do you really think things have changed? Because absolute power corrupts absolutely? Absolutely. In 1956, Article 16, Section 1 was amended to add an oath to be taken by the Secretary of State and all other appointive officers of the state. Yeah, I guess I imagine the official corruption got so out of hand they had to, oh my God, we got to swear everybody in. 1989, the 1989 amendment to Article 16, Section 1 separated the oath into an oath and a statement of officer, also known as the quote, bribery statement, which is the anti-bribery oath. So I don't have that in this package, but it is one of 4 instruments that you're going to get. The official oath, the official bond, the official anti-bribery oath, which is what they just described, and their Foreign Registration Act, because they're foreigners. All right. And if they're a bar member, I'm sure they have one. If they're not, they probably don't, but it's something you should ask for. Official oath, official bond, the official anti-bribery oath, Foreign Registration Act. Okay. Although characterized in the Constitution as a, quote, statement, unquote, it is likewise an oath in the sense that it is sworn. The prior oath had contained the bribery statement within the oath itself. The present language of both the oath and the bribery statement are virtually identical to the language of the previous oath. The 1989 amendment also required that the bribery statement be filed with the Secretary of State prior to the taking of the official oath. Okay. Now, what the whole bribery thing was is, let's say you're running for office. I come in there as, Mr. Philanthropist, and I'm worth, $100 million. And I'm going to tell you, hey, you know what? I got this development going on in Galveston Island, and, I really need some assistance once you get to the governorship uh, or to the state house or state senate to help push my development through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a political action committee, and I'm going to put $10 million in it. And for your election, I'm going to support you, and I'm going to, do radio ads. I'm going to do television ads. I'm going to do print ads. I'm going to do signage and posters and banners, and I'm going to hold rallies. And so this $10 million that I put in this PAC is going to pay for all that. So by me doing that for you, that favor, I need you to do me a favor when you get elected into the position to help with my project to get it pushed through, because I stand to profit $100 million through this project. So it is a wise decision for me to invest $10 million to get you in a position to help me to make $100 million. That way I make a $90 million profit. That's the anti-bribery oath in a nutshell. So I hope you got that. Okay, that's what it's for. The Constitution was amended in 2001 to require only members of the legislature, the Secretary of State, and other elected and appointed state officers to file a statement with the Secretary of State. All other officers are required to retain the signed statement with the official records of the office. The term, quote, state officer, unquote, as used in Article 16 of Section 1C, does not include local officers. Local officers, again, would be your municipal, city, township officers. Okay? That's what they mean by local. And official oath and statement required. We've already gone into that. So where I need to go is, I believe, page 37. See how good my memory is. Might have gone too far. It's 31, 30, no, about 27. I think now I'm guessing. County attorney, justice of the peace, deputy constable. You can see, Fearless Floyd ain't playing. This is where it's at. Oh, I was way off. Treasurers, county treasurer, deputy county clerks and other employees. County clerk. Okay. And let's go over here. I'm actually looking for the district clerk because that's whose bond I have, but that's parallel to the. Well, let me scroll back up to the index. I don't think they have the district clerk on, but they may. District clerk. Okay, page 29. So, I wasn't far off. Here we go. So y'all can see requirements for the district and other local state officers. District clerk. Oath requirement. Before entering upon the duties of office, a district clerk must take and sign the oath prescribed for officers of this state, Texas Constitution, Article 16, Section 1A, and Texas Government Code, Section 51.302B. Statement of the officer must be filed in the official records of the office before the oath can be taken. Texas Constitution, Article 16, Section 1C. Bond requirements. Before entering upon the duties of office, each district clerk must give a bond with two or more sufficient sureties or with a surety company authorized to do business in the state. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302A. In lieu of the bond, a county may self-insure against losses that would have been covered by the bond. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302G. The bond must be payable to the governor, be conditioned on the faithful performance of duties of office. Be conditioned on the faithful performance of duties of office. Be approved by the Commissioner's Court and be in an amount equal to not less than 20% of the maximum amount of fees collected in any year during the term of office immediately preceding the term of office for which the bond is giving, except that the bond may not be in an amount less than $5,000, no more than $100,000. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302A. The oath of office must be endorsed on the bond. If a bond is required, it must be filed and recorded in the office of the county clerk. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302B. Insurance requirements. Each district clerk shall obtain an insurance policy or similar coverage from a governmental pool operating under Chapter 119 Local Government Code or from a self-insurance fund or risk retention group created by one or more governmental units under Chapter 2259 Texas Government Code to cover the district clerk and any deputy clerk against liabilities incurred through errors or omissions in the performance of official duties. Okay? So an error is a mistake. Omission is they just missed it. Okay? So it's why it's WFO, folks. Trying to clean up my language. I think I'm doing a good job in this video. The amount of the policy or other coverage document must be equal to the maximum amount of fees collected in any year during the term of office immediately preceding the term for which the insurance is obtained, except that the amount of the policy or the coverage document must be at least $20,000, but not more than $700,000. If the policy or coverage document provides coverage for other county officials, the amount of the policy must be at least $1 million. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302C. If the district clerk determines coverage is unavailable at a reasonable cost, the Commissioner's Court must establish a contingency fund to provide the coverage and may set an additional filing fee not to exceed $5 to be paid into the contingency fund. Texas Government Code, Section 51.302E. Additional insurance requirements. Each district clerk shall obtain an insurance policy or similar coverage to cover losses due to burglary, theft, robbery, counterfeit currency, or destruction. The amount of the policy must be at least $20,000, but not more than $700,000. Section 51.302D. Now it goes in here to the deputy district clerks and other employees, so that those would be, you're never going to, well, I'm not going to say never. More likely than not, you will never have any face-to-face or telecommunications with the actual district clerk or the person that you're trying to get the oath on, unless you have an encounter with them and they know who you are. Like in this case, the district clerk, they're so insulated through all these different divisions that you'll never meet them, never see them, never have an encounter with them. You can go up there. You're going to deal with, um, administrative clerks, pretty much counter jockeys, and nothing degrading in what you're doing by calling you a counter jockey. But, that's basically what you are. You're only trained so much of the company policy. You have no idea what laws you operate under. I couldn't tell you, but anyway, pretty much follows the same thing. Court reporters, okay, they have their own commission as well. So, all right, so we've gone over what's required. I've explained to you about the anti-bribery oath, which I have at one time had. So we're going to go over this bond. Blow it up for you because it's you guys be able to read it. There we go. Share my screen. All right, here you go. Now, this is an expired bond. It expired at the beginning of 2022. But this is the bond from last year because I have to renew it every year. You can see this is when it started. That's when it ended. This is the public official bond by Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America. This is the date that it was filed, December 17th, 2019 at 2:01. There's the bond number. Know all men by these presents. Nothing against women, but that we, Marilyn Burgess, of 1335 Ella Place, Houston, Texas, 77008-6235, as principal and Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America, a corporation duly incorporated under the laws of the state of Connecticut, as surety are held and firmly bound unto Governor of Texas as obligee in the penal sum of $100,000 lawful money of the United States of America, for the payment of which well and truly be made. Said principal binds himself, herself, his, her heirs, executors, administrators, and assigns, and said surety binds itself, its successors, and assigns jointly and severally, firmly by these presents. Whereas the said principal has been elected to the office of the Harris County District Clerk for definitive or definite term beginning January 1st, 2020 and ending January 1st, 2021, and is required to furnish a bond for the faithful performance of duties of said office position. Now, therefore, the condition of this obligation is such that the above bounden principal shall, except as hereinafter provided, faithfully perform the duties of his or her said office or position during the said term, and shall pay over to the persons authorized by law to receive the same all monies that come into his or her hands during said term without fraud or delay, and the expiration of said term, or in the case of his or her resignation or removal from office, shall turn over to his or her successor all records and property which have come into his or her hands. Then this obligation shall be null and void, otherwise to remain in full force and fact. Provided, however, that the above-named surety shall not be liable hereunder for any loss of any public fund resulting from the insolvency of any bank or banks in which said funds are deposited, and if this provision shall be held void, the entire bond shall be void. And provided further that the surety may cancel bond at any time during the said term by giving the obligee a written notice of its desire to so cancel, and the expiration of 30 days from the receipt of such notice, the obligee as surety shall be completely released as to all liability thereafter accruing. If this provision shall be held void, this entire bond shall be void. And you can see here's your notary. There's the Maryland Burgess's signature, principal. Here's the underwriter with the byline. You see that? Okay. And she's the attorney in fact, authorized representative, power of attorney for Travelers Surety Company of America. Okay? Catching on? See? Witness. And this is, she did her byline. Okay? Because you see her name's in all capital letters, right? See how these dirty people are? You see Travelers is in proper grammar, but her name's not. It's in all capital letters. So that's her corporation. So she's signing for her corporation because she's the principal. Y'all getting it? Eyes to see, ears to hear. The ignorant shall perish. Just saying. Okay. And this is the certification that this document is a certified copy. Okay. It's actually a 8.5 by 14, not 8.5 by 11. Okay, see that's what you're looking at right there. Cut all this off. Okay, so that's why it's cut off down here at the bottom. So just to show you, this is public official bond. There it is. What it looks like. I actually went down there and got this one personally. Those nice people. Okay. Only scan one page of this? That's crazy. Well, me. Wow, only one page came through. That's pretty crazy. Yep. That sucks. I don't have time to sit here and scan it for you guys. So Just have to show you like this. Okay. There's the cover sheet. One. No bullshit. Okay. Clerk stuff. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty of this. Yeah, sure. Did that. Uh, all right, I'm just, you know, for time, let's just go with this. I don't have to dig up the district clerk. Um, This is local government code, which, as we alluded to a little bit earlier, organization of county government, commissioners court, county officers, county clerk. Okay, and I did this because I had to put the county clerk on notice. So that's why all this is popping up, county clerk, because that's what I had already researched. Even though I did the district clerk a while back, presently, today, I'm doing the county clerk. All right. Surety, section 82.001, surety and oath of the county clerk, self-insurance. Basically, this is just a restatement of what I stated from the county association instrument. Yeah, it says same thing. The bond must be approved by Commissioner's Court, payable to the county, condition that the clerk will faithfully perform duties in office, amount equal to um, 82.002 is surety bond on deputy clerks and employees, same thing. Oh, here's the errors and omissions, same thing. Oh, premiums, appointment oath, powers of duty of clerk. This is deputy clerk, rather. Miscellaneous powers and duties. Okay, so here it is in their statutes and codes. Um, yeah. Okay. See how fast I found that. The Texas Constitution, Article 16, General Provisions. The official oath of office. All elected and appointed officers, before they enter upon the duties of their offices, shall take the following oath or affirmation. Quote, I, John Henry Doe, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of whatever elected position they are of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Unquote. Section B, that was A, Section A of Article 116, Section 1, subsection A. So we're in subsection B. All elected or appointed officers, before taking the oath or affirmation of office prescribed by this section and entered upon the duties of the office, shall subscribe to the following statement. Quote, I, John Henry Doe, do solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment for the giving or withholding of a vote at election at which I was elected, or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be, so help me God. Unquote. That's your anti-bribery oath. Okay? So I just showed you right here. There's the oath of office. There's the anti-bribery oath in the Texas Constitution, statutes, capital, texas.gov. So I showed you what they have to take and what they are sworn to defend, protect, and uphold. Correct? Okay. Let me go over here. And um, and for now, we're just going to address the Texas Constitution. Go to the United States Constitution if you all like, but for time constraints and simplicity, we're just going to go straight to the source. Texas Constitution, Article 1, Bill of Rights. Okay? That the general, great, and essential principles of liberty and free government may be recognized and established, we declare. Okay? Section 1, freedom and sovereignty of a state. Texas is a free and independent state subject only to the Constitution of the United States. In the maintenance of our free institutions and the perpetuity of the Union depend upon the preservation of the right of local self-government, unimpaired to all the states. Y'all get that? Y'all can go print this up and read it yourself. Okay. All right. Section 2. Inherent political power, Republican form of government. All political power is inherent in the people. Okay? That means you have the power over the political stuff. And all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. You're the beneficiary. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government, and subject to this limitation only, they have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. Okay? Now, I want you to listen to that very quickly. Okay? They have at all times okay, absolute right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they think expedient. So when that elected, appointed, or employed official is in your way, okay, all the political powers inherit the people. You're the people. So when you find that, okay, you want to alter, reform, or abolish your government in such manner as you think expedient, and if you think your expediency would be to file a proof of claims against the elected officer, employee, or appointee, you got the power. Okay? Equal rights. All free men, when they form a social compact, have equal rights, and no man or set of men is entitled to exclusive, separate public emoluments or privileges, but in consideration of public services. Just because they got a gun and a badge, or they have some title, or they're sitting up on some dais in a wartime courtroom, you guys have equal rights. No man or set of men is entitled to exclusive, separate public emoluments or privileges, but in consideration of public services. Okay? Equality under the law shall not be denied or abridged because of sex, race, religion, color, creed, national origin. This amendment is self-operative. Okay? So, yeah, I don't want to miss anything. I've read this hundreds of times, mostly looking at it in the view of a criminal um, matter, not so much as a civil or societal or commercial matter, actually. Okay? Because, Section 10, that was my big deal. Just to show you guys, okay, what this says right here. Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution. Rights of the accused in criminal prosecutions. He or she shall not be compelled to give evidence against him or herself. Shut the fuck up. You want what? You want a copy of my insurance? Well, you can't compel me to give that to you. I'll be giving you evidence against myself, especially if it's expired insurance, or I'm giving you a suspended driver's license or an ID for you to be able to go, do whatever you want to do. Okay. So let me just explain to you, you have a little bit more power than what you think you have. And if you know the law, all you gotta do is just, hey, you know what Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution says? You don't? Huh. That's strange. Didn't you take an oath of office? Do you know what that oath of office said? Yeah, you're supposed to uphold the state and federal constitution, correct? Right? Right? So under Article 1, Section 10, I cannot be compelled to give evidence against myself. So I'm just gonna shut the fuck. I'm just gonna shut up. And if you'd like, you can read me my Miranda rights right now. Miranda versus Arizona, that Supreme Court case that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Yeah, usually you read that after you arrest me, but I'm telling you to read it before you even think about arresting me. Y'all getting the big picture, kids? Okay. This is when you have to read, research, research, research. Okay, so we're just going to keep scrolling down. Hope I'm getting you educated. You watch my last video. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. If you watch my other video I did earlier, actually did it last night. I had a $1 million appeal bond. It's crazy. All right, and we're getting close. All right, Section 17, taking property for public use. I just said that. Special privileges and immunity, control of privileges and franchises. A, no person's property shall be taken, damaged, or destroyed for or applied to public use without adequate compensation being made, unless by the consent of such person, and only if the taking, damage, or destruction is for 1. The ownership, use, and enjoyment of the property, notwithstanding an incidental use by A, the state, a political subdivision of the state, or the public at large, or B, an entity granted the power of eminent domain under law, or 2, the elimination of urban blight on a particular parcel of property. Okay, now it gets to some definitions. B, in this section, public use does not include the taking of property under subsection A of this section for transfer to a private entity for the primary purpose of economic development or enhancement of tax revenues. Okay, so that's what public use means. So let's go back up here to A, which is right here. So we can read that. No person's property shall be taken or damaged or destroyed for or applied to the public use without adequate compensation being made unless by the consent of such person and only if the taking, damage, or destruction is for. Boom. Okay. What we're looking for right there. What does that say? No person's property shall be taken, applied to public use, without adequate compensation being made. What's the most valuable asset you own, folks? I'm listening. Oh, Jenny in the back. You got it right. Your signature. What are they trying to take? Your signature. You sign right here. I don't want to sign that ticket. Well, you got to sign that ticket or I'm going to take you to jail. Well, I don't want to sign that ticket. Okay, well, I'll sign it for you. Well, okay, if you want to take full liability for that matter and contract with the city, knock yourself out, bro. That's how you talk to them. Because I'm not taking liability because I refuse your presentment. What am I talking? I'm talking commerce, Texas Business Commerce Code. What do you mean you've never read the Texas Business Commerce Code? Because you're out here in commerce trying to get me to contract, and that's a fee if I'm found guilty, or if I just want to plead nolo contendere or not guilty, or if I'm found guilty by a judge or a jury of my peers, right? That's commerce. But that's not what we're talking about today, is it? So these are your, what are they? Bill of Rights. Your what rights? What rights? Can't lien your rights, can they? So, taking a property for public use, no person's property shall be taken or applied to the public use without adequate compensation being made, unless by the consent of such person. So if you don't consent, they can't take your property. It's actually your property. So if you go change your name and get access to your property and you common law copyright it, it's your property. Especially if you have a public notice stating it's your public property and an affidavit of publication showing that you did a public notice. Are you getting educated yet? Are you learning? I hope so. Dear God, I hope so. Okay. Here's another one. No person shall ever be imprisoned for debt. Well, that's crap. It's not. Now, but this is what right here. This is one of my favorites in the whole Texas Constitution. Save Article 1, Section 10. You cannot be compelled to give evidence against yourself. But this is Section 19, deprivation of life, liberty, property, etc. by due course of law. Are you ready? Buckle up. Oh, get in the car, buckle up, because I'm fixing to floor it. Okay? No citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disfranchised, except by due course of law of the land. What is the law of the land? God dang it, Jenny. Man, you're good. Yeah, she's a smart girl. We might have to elevate her up to that, you know, gifted classes. Law of the land, Supreme Court case law. Supreme Court precedent. That's the law of the land. Okay? Except by due course of the law of the land. So any Supreme Court holding, that's what they're talking about right there. United States Supreme Court, not Texas Supreme Court, because you guys are, as we talked about earlier. Whoops, what happened? That's not what I wanted to do. Let me go back there. Nope. Lord, the hell? Come on. Okay. I actually hit the wrong button. So, Section 19, I'll read it again. Deprivation of life, liberty, property, etc. by due course of law. No citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disfranchised, except by the due course of the law of the land. So how does that apply here, Fearless? What we're talking about? What does that have to do with a bond? Well, okay. Go to court. What are they trying to take? Your liberty, right? Property, privileges, and immunities. As quiet as it's kept, folks, we are all sovereign individuals of the state of the United States of America, so we have our own immunities, okay? We're all immune from the corporation. If you've corrected your status and standing, we have privileges. Of course, we have property. Our property would be, is it your own body? Is it your name? Is it your signature? Liberty, your freedom. How is a corporation going to deprive you of your freedom, your liberty, unless you volunteer for it? Okay? Deprive you of life. Okay? They can put you in a situation where you're fear of your life. It's possible. Okay? So, I think that's it. 27, we can throw this in here. Right of assembly, petition for redress of grievances. The citizens shall have the right, in a peaceable manner, to assemble together for their common good, and apply to those invested with the powers of government for redress of grievances or other purposes by petition, address, or remonstrance. Section 29. And I used to quote this one with anything that I quoted in any one of these articles. The Bill of Rights accepted from the powers of government and violate. To guard against transgressions of the high powers herein delegated, we declare that everything in this quote, Bill of Rights, unquote, is accepted out of the general powers of government and shall forever remain inviolate. And all laws contrary thereto or to the following provisions shall be void. It's telling you right there that these corporate policies they call statutes and codes that try to take any one of your, where you at, 19, life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disfranchised, any laws trying to eliminate those are, what? We got 27. Nope, I'm sorry. Well, that's crime victims. There it is. They are void. Okay. So if any person, any entity, and a person can be a corporation, it can be a human being, an association, a union, an organization. That's the legal definition. Violates your Bill of Rights provided to you by the state constitution. In any one of these articles that I have read, they violated their oath of office. Correct? And that's what most of us all is all about. They're trampling upon your rights right here. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, right here. Life, liberty, property, privileges, immunities, or disfranchised in any manner. What do you mean I got to pay a fine? Man, you're disfranchising me. Disfranchising my assets. So we're going to stop share right there, and I am going to pull up something else. So let me go get it. Take me a second, and I'm trying to hurry now. Here, I'll do it this way. My fat fingers. Okay. Okay. All right. Mad Bernie Sanders on it, so I definitely don't want to use that one. Oh, let's all right. Let's go to Wikipedia because I got it right here. It's much easier. Y'all can go look this up yourself. This is the out of the federal constitution. And it just happens to be the 14th Amendment. You know, and if you're a national, you're not a 14th Amendment citizen. But quote, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, unquote, is a well known phrase in the United States Declaration of Independence. The phrase gives three examples of the unalienable rights which Declaration says have been given to all humans by their Creator, and which governments are created to protect. Can't make this stuff up. Like the other principles in the Declaration of Independence, this phrase is not legally binding, but has been widely referenced and seen as an inspiration for the basis of government. Okay? We hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable, that all men are created equal and independent, that from that equal creation they derive rights inherent and inalienable, among which are the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, and this was in Thomas Jefferson's original rough drought, which would be a rough draft, which is an exhibit in the Library of Congress. This version was used by Julian Boyd to create the transcript of Jefferson's draft, which reads, okay, so here's a little historical reference to where that came from. So obviously, the oath of office is to uphold the state and federal constitution. So I've read you the articles in the Texas Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights. I've read you the Bill of Rights from the United States Constitution. And you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you cannot be disfranchised in any manner, correct? Okay, well, when you have a claim, guess what your proof of claims are? You start citing those articles and those amendments and those sections and subsections of those constitutions in your proof of claims. Go get the money. Go get that official oath. Go get that official bond. So when you prove through your proof of claims, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, how to do that and what that looks like. You want to state that on such and such date, such and such did this, such and such did that. Okay. You go into the county clerk and you want to file some instruments and they don't file them. Oh no, sir, we don't file those kind of documents. Really? Well, that's not what you're here for. If I remember correctly, let's see. That's a violation of my Bill of Rights. Now you're disfranchising me. And my rights are what? Inalienable? Unalienable? I'm not making it up. I'm just reading you what's in their documents, right? So clearly we have a violation of their oath of office, which is a claim against their bond. So as many as these you can present in your proof of claims, the better you're going to be. So I've taken you down that road. So now I'm going to take you down another path, but in this other path, thank you. In this other path, we're all going to meet in the same place. And we're going to hold hands. And we're going to sing love songs. We're going to be very happy because we're in the pursuit of happiness. Because you just might hit the jackpot if you do it right. Okay. Let me get over here. Get my next thing set up. Okay. All right. Of course, this law from Cornell University. Title 18, United States Code, Section 242, Deprivation of Rights under Color of Law. Did I not just read you your Bill of Rights in the Texas and United States Constitutions? I thought so. Good job, Fearless. Whoever, under color of law, of color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, and penalties, on account of such person being an alien or by reason of his color or race than are prescribed for the punishment of citizens, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 1 year, or both. And if bodily injury results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threatened use of a dangerous weapon, explosives, or fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years, or both. If death results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping or attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to commit aggravated robbery, sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years, or for life, or both, or may be sentenced to death. Okay? And what are we? Aren't we non-resident alien American nationals because we're not part of the United States, which is the 10 square miles, and the District of Columbia, one of the three of the Trinity, right? Okay, so we are alien. Better bet your ass on that. Okay. So I just want to show you that one. Chapter 13. Hope you can see this. Title 18, United States Code, Section 241. Conspiracy against rights. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with the intent to prevent, hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured. Disguise. Well, if you're wearing a uniform, that's a disguise. Yeah, yeah, right? They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 10 years, or both. And if death results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years of life, or for life, or both, or may be sentenced to death. So apparently, the drafters of the Federal Criminal Code took the inalienable rights very seriously, because somebody aggravated, okay? That means, let me give you the definition of aggravated. Exhibit or use of a deadly weapon. How that is defined is if somebody pulls out a stick, okay, and I'm in fear of my life, that's a deadly weapon. Okay? Whether or not it's even big enough to hurt me, it's the threat perceived by the victim to dictate whether or not it's a deadly weapon as classified under the law. Absolutely. So this means by a show or use of a physical object that could cause death for this, okay? Aggravated sexual abuse, okay? And they don't even have aggravated kidnapping in here, but they should, okay? Because it happens all the time. These pirates come in and, you know, got a gun and a badge. I don't know what the law says. I have no idea what law I'm operating under, although my oath of allegiance is to the state and federal constitution to protect your rights. And hold on, how does that even work? Doesn't. Okay. That's why you're going to start holding these people accountable with these official bonds, official oaths. And by all means, I am not a licensed bar attorney, and I do not give legal advice. This is for educational purposes only. That's my caveat. But I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so there you go. Does that answer all your questions? All right. So I've walked you through everything, shown you what everything is. Okay. So now what you want to do once you have this event, let's call it. Now, let me put this process in easily digestible analogy and easily digestible analogy. Okay. Let me get this off the screen so I can see what I'm doing. All right. This is a car. I know y'all gonna laugh. I got these right. Y'all see these? Okay. Car A, car B. Oh man, dude, you didn't see that red light? You just ran right into my car. Man, I hope you have insurance. Yeah, Holmes, I got insurance. I take care of you, Holmes. I got you. I'm in good hands. I got Allstate. All right, man. Jesus, thank God. All right. Well, you want to call the police? Do we need to? I don't know, Holmes. Let's see if our cars will move. All right, man. Let's pull over to this lot. Yeah, we'll exchange information. All right, homie. We'll do that. Now you're over here sitting in a lot, and you exchange information. Hey, Holmes. Here's my information from my insurance company. They take care of your vehicle, Holmes, right? Oh, thank you, sir. Here's my insurance information. All right. I hope you have a nice day, man. Be careful out there because, you don't want to hurt anybody not paying attention and running red lights. So, out of the goodness of my heart, I saved you from getting a ticket from the pirates. What do? You get in your car, boom, call your insurance agent. State Farm, how can I help you? Yeah, my name's Floyd Pleasant Darvin the fourth. I'm one of your clients, and I just got into an accident. Gentleman ran a red light, smashed into my car. It's still drivable. Oh, are you okay? Are you hurt? Are you injured? Do we need to call somebody to help you? Oh, no, no, no. I mean, everything seems to be all right. But I have his insurance policy, so I want to go ahead and report it on my insurance so we can get taken care of. Okay, well, who's his insurance company? And give me his policy name and all that stuff. So, boom, you give it to him. So, the next step you do is you call his insurance company. Call Allstate. You want to be in good hands, right? You call his insurance agent or his company and you make your claim, right? Okay, sir, thank you for letting us know. We'll have an adjuster give you a call. So, sometime after that, you're going to get a phone call from an insurance adjuster from Allstate. They're going to tell you, hi, uh, my name's so and so. We need to get you to make a statement. So I'm gonna record the conversation. I'm gonna swear you in, so you're under oath. So I don't want any perjury, and you're gonna make a statement of what's happened to you, and if you've sustained any physical injuries that need or have had or need further medical attention. Okay, so you state your claim, right? You're doing your proof of claims. So that adjuster's going to get it. They're going to investigate the accident. They're going to get a statement from, hey, Holmes over here, Mr. S.A. I can't see red lights, Holmes. That guy. Well, he's going to give his statement. what happened? He's going to say, well, I don't know, the light could have been red, could have been orange, could have been psychedelic. I don't know, man. I was on mushrooms. Who knows? Okay. So, okay, you don't know what he's going to say, but he's going to make a sworn statement too. So the adjuster's going to make the decision. Oh, well, our guy's at fault. So we're going to have to pay out the claim. So, of course, you've taken your car to a body shop. You got your little three estimates. You send your three estimates into their Allstate Insurance, his insurance company, and of course, they're gonna pick the lowest one. So go get some high estimates, and they're gonna pay out because he's covered for collision. Or liability up to $100,000. So your car's covered because you drive a 2000 Honda Civic. So they're going to fix your car. So if you have any medical injuries, that comes out of that. And of course, you got personal injury protection from your own insurance company. However, the analogy of the whole thing is you have to look at this like I'm driving my car, okay? And I'm just driving, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. No big deal. And I go into the clerk's office and bam, the clerk just ran into me. Okay, they violated my rights. They, they transgressed upon my property, my pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. They disfranchised me. So, how do I get compensated? Because I'm supposed to be compensated for use of my property. I make a claim. How do I make a claim, Floyd? Oh, you got to go find their official bond and their official oath. Once you secure those two documents from either on the municipal or township level from the city secretary, start there and work your way around. Be nice, be kind, and try to establish a relationship with the city secretary and say, oh, well, if you don't have this on the record, do you know where I might be able to find it? And they're going to help you out and give you the information. Okay? Write names down, write phone numbers. Try to get direct line numbers. On the next level, on the county level, generally it's at the county clerk's office. If not at the county clerk, it's going to be with the Secretary of State or the governor's office. Okay. Always start at the county clerk on the county level. Be nice, be kind, write down names and numbers, try to get direct lines. If they don't have it, ask for assistance. Where might I find it? On the state level, generally at the Secretary of State's office or in the governor's office. Start at the Secretary of State, same principles. Okay, follow those instructions. You want to get a certified copy, at least one, the official bond, the official oath, and if you want the anti-bribery oath, if they're a judge or anything to do with the judicial system, Foreign Registration Act, if you want to pursue that. But basically, you just want the oath and the bond, the official bond, not the anti-bribery oath. But you can get it just in case. Generally, these are $1 a page or $1 per instrument. So they're very affordable, not hard to get. You can have them mailed to you, which may take a minute, or you can make an appointment to go down and pick them up personally. And that's what I did because they were dragging their feet getting them to me. Imagine that. And I waited a week and didn't hear anything. It's like, well, you know what? That's about a 45-minute trip downtown and back to my house. So guess what? I'm coming to see you. So I went down there. They gave me my copies. Um, so once you secure those, you have to do your proof of claims. Now, this is how you do a proof of claims. Okay. I, Floyd Pleasant Harvin IV, am of the age of majority and of sound mind, capable of fully making this affidavit, a sworn statement, however you want to label it, and then boom. Number one, proof of claims, and start stating your story in succinct sentences or dual sentences, whatever. Each individual proof of claim, okay, stands alone. So I went in the clerk's office. I dealt with Jane Doe, deputy clerk, who refused to accept my instruments. Okay, there's one claim. Um, I went a second time. Okay, let's just say they refused to accept my fee schedule. Proof of claim two. I went into their county clerk's office, and Jane Doe refused to accept my common carry declaration. Okay, each one of those instruments that you went in there with, it doesn't matter how many, that's a proof of claim. Okay, Jane Doe violated the Texas Constitution Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 19, by disfranchising me. That's it. That's all you got to put. By not accepting and filing my instruments. Okay. And you just go through the Texas Constitution Bill of Rights. Then you can go through the state federal Constitution Bill of Rights. And then you can go through the state penal code. You can go through the federal criminal code, which is Title 18, and just start labeling these things. Each one of those is a proof of claim. So once you establish the body of your proof of claim, you're going to put the terms and conditions. Okay. And the conditions are these. Okay. Or let me put the terms. Terms, minimum 3 days, 72 hours. Okay. That's federal law. Grace period, 3-day grace. Okay. So I would advise you also to throw some scripture in there too, like I do. Very beginning, very end. So you let them know up front, I'm coming under God's law. Boom, at the bottom. Well, okay, yeah, he's still operating under God's law. But in between there, you want to set the terms and conditions. The terms are you have 72 hours to rebut this affidavit. Okay, now I'm going into the conditions. Point for point, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many you have. You have to do it under oath, and you have to send the rebuttal United States Postal Service, certified mail with return receipt of merchandise, that's the green card, signed by the addressee and not an agent, because the agent could be your ding dong roommate, doesn't know any better, is going to go to the door and sign for it. Or it could be the postal carrier who just too lazy to come to your door and deliver it to you, and they're just going to like stick it in your mailbox and sign for you. Okay, just scribble some lines, check agent. Okay, so you also want to include a certificate of service. A certificate of service, I was just explaining this earlier to a gentleman, that's what's called the mailbox rule. Mailbox rule is a law of the land precedent by the United States Supreme Court. It's in all the local, state rules, even federal. And basically, this is the gist of what it has to say. I, Floyd Pleasant Darvin IV, did enclose the affidavit of proof of claims in a sealed envelope properly addressed to the entity or entities listed below with sufficient postage affixed thereto and deposited into the United States Post Office box or post office or delivered to a postal carrier on such and such date pursuant to all state and federal rules of court, as well as the mailbox rule on such and such date. Now, pursuant to the mailbox rule, the date you gave it to a postal carrier or you dropped it in the box or you put it in the post office, that's the day it was served. Okay? Not when they received it, you dropped it in the box. However, you, by doing this process, you want to give them a real physical, actual time, something fair, at least 3 days. So it's 3 days from the day that they sign the green card, or whoever signed the green card. More than likely, they're going to have a mail room who fronts all this stuff, or they're going to have a P.O. box where it goes, and somebody picks it up, and they got to sign for it. And they're just a clerk, just an administrative assistant. So, trying to explain to you, what you need to do. Go back, rewind this, and start taking notes because this is all very important. This is the important part because this is your notice. This is how you establish all your historical information to make your claim to go get that cheese, baby, like a fat rat in a cheese factory. So you have to do it right. You have to do it correct. So once you do your proof of claims and you give them 72 hours to respond, let's say a week later, you can give them 2 weeks, but you definitely have to give them a boundary or that it's open ended and they just never reply. Then you'll have a leg to stand on because you didn't give them a time limit, a deadline. So be sure you establish that. That's very important. So when they don't respond because they're not going to respond to you under oath, absolutely not. Okay, because I didn't say that out loud. You want to hold them accountable. Okay, so the proof of claims is it. They're not going to rebut it. So it's going to go unanswered. You're going to wait your 72 hours. You're not going to get anything back, and you're going to wait about a week. You're not going to hear anything back. So from the end of your whatever your deadline date is, when we're just going to say, for simplicity's sake, you sent it on January 27th. Okay, so the 3 days would be February 1st, right? For simplicity's sake. So you wait till February 7th, you still don't hear anything back. Boom, you hit them with an invoice. Invoice them for whatever you feel is fair. Okay, if you already have their official bond, you know they're worth at least 100 grand. Well, you know what? You took my time and energy away to have to do the proof of claims, to have to go get your official bond and oath, to have to do my own research on the internet. I don't know what your time is worth. I don't know what your energy is worth. I don't know what your signature is worth that you used to write on your proof of claims. Plus, you had to go get your stuff notarized, right? All this is time, money, and energy. I don't know what your value is, but you have your own value. And be sure and put it on your invoice. Okay. I would suggest you go get the invoice notarized as well. Just go to your bank; it's all free. So that way you don't have to go pay to get it done, $6, $7 or something like that. And then you mail them the invoice. Now, how I like to do these things, because I like to overly protect myself, because I know there's just a modicum of corruption. Oh, well, didn't we just read that in the establishment of the Texas Constitution for the official oath that there was corruption way back when? Right? And they even have an anti-bribery oath to prevent corruption. Right? So there's probably a little bit of corruption going on. So protect yourself. And this is how I do it. Whatever I'm enclosing in the envelope, I will put on there that it's a notary presentment. Okay. And in that notary presentment, I basically lay out what I'm trying to do. And that is that the notary, I, Jane Notary Public for the for County of Harris, State of Texas, do hereby declare under oath that the following instruments were enclosed in an envelope that I sealed. Okay. And they can even mail it for you. That I sealed. Okay. And then underneath that, I'll have a little space bar, a little space where they can put their initials or sign their name. And then right beside that, I'll have the title of the instrument. Now, if you haven't seen my work, I will show it to you. Okay. At the very bottom, you see what that says, Common Carry Declaration. And of course, you can see I copyright all my instruments. Absolutely. And I have the page numbers over here. So if it's more than one page, it'll say 1 of 2, 1 of 10, 1 of 100. Okay. All of them will have this footer on them. Okay, and of course the tops always have my family flag. This one just happens to have the the Great Seal. All right, so they're gonna the clerk's gonna initial it, and they're gonna say, okay, this common carry declaration was enclosed. So the proof of claims would be enclosed. The invoice would be enclosed. Put an invoice number on there. Put it on the footer. Okay. So what you're doing is you're protecting yourself. You're able to go eventually into arbitration or eventually to the insurance company and prove to them, hey, they cannot deny that I did not send them this instruments because here I've got a notary public as a witness that the instrument I sent because they put it in the envelope and sent it. Right? Okay, you want to get a notary public in here and like you can start arguing with them if you want. I don't think so. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, hey, Mr. Darvin, you covered your bases. Pretty good. Give you a thumbs up for that, right? Do it. Okay. You want to protect yourself every step of the way because you're dealing with weasels. They're gonna try to weasel their way out, right? Like they do with everything. That's what you want to do. That's the process you want to do to protect yourself. So, all right. So you invoice them and you backdate it to your deadline date, your 72-hour date, or whatever deadline you established. The last day that they had to respond, that's when you date your invoice. Boom, you hit them with that. 30 days later from that date, you hit them with another invoice. Okay. If you want to add on the penalties, okay, because they're not paying the invoice, you put it in the original proof of claims. Okay. The proof of claims, you're establishing your terms and conditions. You're making them an offer. Settle up, Buttercup, or you can pay me now, or you're going to pay me later. Your choice. I'm making you the offer in honor, good faith, with clean hands. So, because you violated your oath, you better come to the table and start negotiating. But they won't. They can't. They're stubborn, ignorant, don't know what's going on, never seen this stuff before, and you're going to get them. So, you send them one invoice. 30 days later, you send them the second invoice. Another 30 days later, you send them the third invoice. So, at the end of 90 days, then you do a notice of fault and opportunity to cure and contest, notice of default, and then you can do that as a notary presentment and have the notary send everything. And if they got anything to say, they got to send it back to the notary. So when the notary gets it, the notary will notify you, and they're not going to. Okay, so the notary is again your outside party, third party, disinterested party. Okay, witness. There you go. That's what I'm trying to get out. Disinterested third party witness. Okay, to back up everything you're doing. So once you've completed that, then through the notarial protest, do a publication in the newspaper. And this is my own methodology. This is just to protect yourself. Okay. So when you do go into arbitration, you do make a claim on that official bond, it's bulletproof. Okay. I've given them plenty of opportunity to contest this and they never replied, never answered, never rebutted it, never provided a traverse, nothing. Okay. So you contact your local newspapers in the jurisdiction you're in, try to find the cheapest one. Here in Harris County, it's the Baytown Sun. Called them all. And you put a publication in the paper and you run it for 3 consecutive weeks. You can run it one day a week, whether it's Sunday or Wednesday. I think I ran mine on Sundays in the Baytown Sun. And you put a publication in there that the Harris County entity is in default of a private administrative process. If you did it registered mail, you can do the registered mail number from the very first notice. Is that your contract number? Um, and you're telling everybody they defaulted. And if anybody wants to say anything, they can say, they can reply to it. And you can give them an email address, you can give them a physical address, whatever you want. And nobody's going to rebut it because you provided public notice, just like they put in the public notices when somebody is being foreclosed upon and they defaulted and there's a default judgment against them. Correct? Same principle. So when you do your public notice, legal notice, however you want to label it, with the paper, you want to tell the paper, whatever associate you're dealing with at the newspaper, you want a tear sheet, okay, and you want an affidavit of publication. And you want a tear sheet for every issue that your publication's in. And this is what a tear sheet is. And I'm telling you because I've set up and run 2 different advertising companies. A tear sheet is, instead of them sending you the entire newspaper or that section, the business section usually is what the legal notices are in, they take your page and they tear it out and they send you just the page of where your legal or public notice is. That's called a tear sheet. Okay. So you want to get copies of those. That way you can make a digital copy of those and you can make, printable copies, and you can send out these printable copies along with the affidavit of publication. The affidavit of publication is the most important instrument there because it's your proof through a disinterested third party that you filed the public notice or legal notice. And it's going to say the dates that you did it, and you have the tear sheets to back them up. Correct? Okay. There you go. That's that process. So once you complete all that, now you're ready to go get your money. Now you're ready to go to the insurance company and go, hello, my name's Floyd Pleasant Farm the Fourth, and I'm looking at an official bond that you issued as the underwriter for and this is not real, but for the Harris County District Clerk in some certain $100,000. Is that not correct? Yeah, and the contingency upon that official bond was that they uphold, defend, and protect the state and federal constitutions, correct? Right. Well, I want to make a claim against that, and I've already done my proof of claims. They've been unrebutted. I've invoiced this entity for the last 90 days, did a notarial protest, did a legal and public notice for 3 weeks in the Baytown Sun, and have an affidavit of publication as proof of concept. And I'd like to get the $100,000. So when can we settle? Or do I need to go to arbitration? And they're going to settle with you. If they got any kind of, they get any kind of squirrely on you. Can I get the name of your registered agent and your trust indenture? They're like, what? What'd you just say? Yeah, of course. Well, I have a valid proof of claims. Valid proof of claim. I want my money. So what's going to happen is they're going to pay you out. When they pay you out, it's going to void this policy. And when it voids this policy, guess who has to step down from office? More than likely will not be able to ever hold office again because they cannot uphold their official oath. It means they can't get insured or bonded. I've just given you the complete process from A to Z, how to hold these elected, appointed, and employed governmental officials from the municipal all the way up to the federal level, how to hold them accountable when they transgress upon your unalienable rights bestowed upon you, not even by the state federal constitution, but by big man above, big woman above, or big entity above, your creator of all things, your God, whatever that looks like. Okay? you have any questions, TheFearlessFloydShow at yahoo.com. Leave comments below, please. Like this video if you found it educational, entertaining, or if you just like me, or just like my name. Subscribe to my channel if you like my videos, like my content, and you want to turn other people on. It's easier when you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when I do put out new videos. And I'm cranking them out pretty regular now. One of these days I'll set up my website, and hopefully just gotta find time to do that. I got a lot of things in the fire, guys. I have 2 more Zooms to do today that at least one will go on YouTube. As always, man, I'm thankful from the bottom of my heart. I'm so blessed and so grateful for every single one of you who even click on my videos. Y'all don't even have to watch it all the way through. Y'all just click on it, man. You know what? I'm being recognized by somebody else in this world for my time and energy and efforts, and that's just awesome to me. I never thought I'd be able to have such a platform and have people who follow me so intently, because the people who do subscribe to my channel, they're in it to win it, and they are die-hard viewers. They love what I'm doing, and for you guys out there, man, thank you. I give you guys a thumbs up. If I could give you a like, I'd give you a like. But I'm giving you 2 thumbs up, so I'm giving you 2 likes. I'm giving you a left and a right, left and a right, left and a right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being here with me. Well, again, like I said, I hope I've walked you through this step by step by step by step from start to finish, how you can start holding these people accountable. Let me throw this last caveat on you, okay? If you're having problems with an entity, county clerk, district clerk, sheriff, tax assessor, police chief, justice of the peace, judge, justice, however you want to label them, it's pretty smart if you go get one of these, because they're very inexpensive, before you go and see them. So when they start giving you a little static, excuse me, pardon me while I whip this out. Is this yours? $100,000 liability? Huh. Oh, you got official oath too, right? Uphold the state and federal constitution, right? My right to not be disfranchised, my right to my own property, unless I can be compensated for it because I didn't give it to you. You took it, or you coerced it under duress, or you extorted it. So, you want to do business? Are you ready to act in commerce? Because I am. I've got the note. I've got the financial instrument. Right. So let's do business. Correct? So don't go in there with a knife to a gunfight. So if you do bring a gun, make god dang sure you got bullets that fire real lead that will cause harm and injury, because they're going to be shooting at you with big guns, a lot of guns. Okay? So make sure you go in there cocked and loaded and ready to play, because they got guns and badges. Okay? All you got to do is pick up the phone. Hey, man, you send somebody down here and get this idiot out of my office? But if you come in there prepared, who's the idiot? So it looks like they are. So wear the right hat when you go in there. Be prepared. Do your own research. Don't believe anything I said in here. Okay? Because, do your own research. That's all I can say. Thank you very much for watching my video. Again, I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm grateful. Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it. And I hope this helps you on your own journey to the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. Peace out.